coming round. What is our drink of the day?
What about a nice glass of rosé today? The one that we have in a pub is the Pinot Rosé, which is very delicious.
Okay,
so
that's seasonal. Today's confession comes from Gracey. Gracey, thank you very much. Father Simon and the Temple of Mercy. In the late 1970s, I was a fifth year at our local school. I was hardworking and I was diligent. We were a good crowd and a fine example to the snotty fourth years below us. The sixth formers, however, in our school were always annoying. Although less than a year in age difference, the sixth formers were arrogant and smug, swanning around as though they owned the place, noses in the air, snooty and unpleasant. Also, they were able to wear what they liked in lessons, and they all wore prefect badges. How does that happen? They had their lessons in the winter in their flared jeans and warm tank tops, whilst we sat in the same drafty classrooms in just our school uniform. Thin school shirt, thin school jumper made of nylon, thin school dress made of hessian sackcloth.
What?
At break time, we were all made to stand out in the school yard in all weathers, whilst they went to the sixth form common room for tea, coffee, Tizer and ginger snaps. Sometimes chocolate penguin biscuits. We knew that because they would ball up the wrappers and throw them at us. If we had a Bullingdon club in our school, they would all have been in it, posing and poncing around and being thoroughly nauseating. Okay, Gracey, we get the picture. Anyway, in the spring of the late 70s, a terrible fire unfortunately caught the roof of our school gymnasium, and there was a lot of damage due to the fire and water. Luckily, the gym was saved, but there was a lot of smoke and water damage to that area, including the offices and the sixth form block. It was on the news and everything. My friend and I decided it would be hilarious if the sixth formers thought that they had to come in and help clear it up. It was the weekend, and with no mobile phones or internet in those days, we turned to our trusty local radio station, and we passed on a message and asked them to put out a plea to all sixth formers to come in and help. Signed, the deputy head. We made it clear that they were to wear old clothes, Wellington boots, and bring buckets, spades and brooms. Your school needs you. We're all in this together. That kind of thing. It was quite an inspiring message, really, appealing to any dormant feelings of community solidarity that lay deeply buried in the souls of our awful sixth form. We went along and watched the sixth formers turn up off the buses, off their bicycles, and many dropped by their parents. The sight was spectacular and still brings a smile to my face. They're all trying to be fashionable, looking like Paul Weller or Nick Haywood or Kate Bush, but Paul, Nick and Kate on cleaning duty. They, of course, were all thanked but turned away. The puzzled, confused and then angry looks on their entitled little faces was a joy to behold. Then, dressed as they were, as cleaners, they had to either wait for the next bus, walk or cycle or go to the telephone box and call mummy or daddy as they were all stranded with their buckets and cloths and brooms. Boy, did they look mad. Scuffles broke out as they jostled for position in the bus queue. I don't think they'd queued before. They looked the saddest bunch of elite students you've ever seen. We chortled all day and were chortling still when we went back to school on the Monday. The sixth formers, after report, were still mad, but they had no one to get mad with, as they didn't know who had set them up. The situation festered for a while. Then a few weeks later, myself and my friend were called into our head of years room, and Mrs. Arbuthnot told us that she had spoken to the local radio station, and it appears I had foolishly given my first name at the beginning of the call. Mrs. Arbuthnot was not happy with us, but my friend piped up and gave what I can only describe as an Oscar-winning performance as a wronged person. Oh, pardon me. She announced to Mrs. Arbuthnot that we were in the top class of the year and would not be that stupid to give their names away. And someone phoning in with a hoax would in fact give a fake name, which just so happened to be my Christian name. We had been set up, surely, and she could see that. Well, although Miss Arbuthnot had her doubts, she apologised and let us go. So my apologies to Miss Arbuthnot, who I believe is still alive, and as technically we lied to her. Well, not technically, Grace. You just lied to her. That's the thing. It was just a lie. I would also like, here's a nice final line, I would also like to thank my lovely friend for her quick thinking and know that she can see... I'll start again. It's a nice line. I'd like to thank my lovely friend for her quick thinking and know that I can safely tell this tale as she is retired from the police. Sadly, as hard as I try, I still have a smile on my face recalling all those sixth formers. Yours, begging for a little bit of forgiveness if you got any going, young Gracey. Well, let's go to the saloon bar first of all. Sister Susie.
Gracey, I really appreciate all the effort you went into, and I really do. I don't know if I can forgive you, not only for what you did, but also for the fact that you gave your name. Why would you go through all of that and then give your real name to the radio station? But fair dues to your friend for all of that quick talking to cover it up. But yeah. I can't forgive you, no.
Brother from another gutter.
There's so much to love about this, isn't it? It's the perfect crime, because of course, why would you give your real name if you were calling this in to the radio station? A great twist about the police, and I love all the resentment against all those entitled sixth formers. And frankly, if the Bullingdon Club was only about just eating too many penguin biscuits, we wouldn't be in the state we're in now. Whoa, I think so. I think so. So therefore, definitely.